What is up, dudes? Lady dudes. Whoa. Welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today, doing another little news video. We got some pretty cool stuff announced. We'll start with the Predaplant monster, and then we will work our way to the more interesting news, in my opinion, but we'll just knock this out of the way real quick. So we'll start off here with Predaplant Helium Phorincus. It's a level 8 dark plant effect monster. He looks pretty cool. His design's pretty cool. I do like a lot of the Predaplant designs. There, so his stat line is 1200 attack, 2400 defense, and he has 2 effects that are hard once per turn. First effect says if your opponent has a monster with a predator counter, you can special summon this card from your hand. Okay, and then 2, if this card is destroyed by your opponent, you can target one dark monster, dragon, or plant in your graveyard except himself and special summon that monster. Personally, overall, I don't think this is very good. I think his first effect, being able to special summon himself out, is too unreliable. Like, you have to be, one, already going second. Your opponent has to have a monster. You need to have already drawn a way to get a predator counter on a monster, and then that's all just to get him on the field. We don't have a link monster for this deck. We don't, like, and if you're fusing, like, you can just fuse him out of the hand anyway. So, like, why do you even need to get him on the field? And maybe that's something that maybe his potential gets a little more unlocked as we get the rest of the support for the predator plants. But I feel like for right now, this doesn't really do much. The float effect is, like, not good. It has to be destroyed by your opponent. It can't be destroyed by battle, so I guess you can special out and just attack into something to revive something in grave, but you're essentially just using Monster Reborn at that point, which is okay, but it's a little more setup than Monster Reborn. I don't know. I just felt like this card's, like, it doesn't do enough. We'll see. I mean, just like with any of these cards in this set, if they seem a little underwhelming, it may be because we just don't know what the rest of the cards in this, support set are going to be, and when we find them out, they might be what was the missing link to get these cards to be better. But yeah, pretty cool card. I like his design. He's cool. I think he's like the highest level one they have now as far as the big monsters. Then we'll go to in my opinion, the little more interesting news, which is a new structure deck announced called Structure Deck R Warriors Strike. Pretty cool. As expected, this is the next structure deck. The next structure deck R is going to be based on the old Warrior Strike structure deck. Release date 28th of September 2019. Contains one pre-constructed deck, 40 cards, 2 promos. Also has a double-sided playing mat, player's guide, and then sleeves for the deck coming out as well. I think this is really interesting because when I got into Yu-Gi-Oh! In high school, or back into Yu-Gi-Oh! In high school, I literally bought this a lot of cards, like on eBay. You could just find like 100 card lot, random, completely random, like $10. Cool, do it. I did that, and when I ordered that, I ended up getting this guy, Phoenix Gearfried, as well as Evocator Chevalier, and a bunch of other cards from that actual structure deck. So I'm assuming that person's lot. Some of those cards originated from the structure deck, but they were cool to me, and those were some of my favorite monsters. They are Gemini. Those two, I guess the two main monsters are him and Evocator Chevalier. They're not great because they're Gemini, and that's what makes me curious about this structure deck. I mean, we'll find out more as we go. Clearly, we don't really get much here, but Geminis are terrible. Are we going to get support trying to make Geminis better, or are they just going to jump off the Gemini train and make regular versions of these cards, call them regular versions, but different versions that are not Gemini of these cards, because I think their designs are so cool, and I'm curious because, like, if they keep it Gemini, they'll probably make some pretty strong Gemini support, I would imagine. I mean, think about the structure decks we've been getting over the last couple, versions or whatever. We got Endymions, better relevant, tier 2, but they're a strong engine for pendulums, so there's some really good cards there. We look at Salamangreats, which are arguably the best deck in the game right now. We look at Zombie Horde, which is a strong rogue strategy that can really do some powerful things. I don't remember if Lair of Darkness was the one before that, but Lair of Darkness was last year as well. That was the one where, like, people looked at those cards and they were literally like, wow, this could literally be, like, insane, tributing off your opponent's stuff. it didn't quite turn out as strong, but the idea was really strong, and I think that's what's important is that you still look. I mean, we still look at Lilith. That was played in Frogs. That's played in Mystic Mind Burn. Lilith itself, like either way you look at it, there's some really powerful cards that still get play, even not in like their pure deck. So we can imagine that they want to keep that trend up, because I think that's the reason why their structure decks have been selling really well, is that they've all had some sort of competitive relevancy to them. So whether it be on the lower end or the higher end, lower end like Lair, higher end like Salamangrates. And so yeah, if it's Gemini, they'd have to put some pretty insane Gemini support cards in here to kind of make it meta interesting. But like taking that notion, that's what makes me kind of lead down the path of thinking that they probably will have more. They'll probably lean in the direction of making them more regular effect monster instead of Geminis, just because they want to make their structure decks more competitively viable, because it just makes them sell way better. But yeah, I mean, this is all speculation. We don't really know anything. Like, that's literally it. We just got the name for the structure deck, and we got the fact that it's going to be based off of the old Warrior Strike structure deck. So let me know what you think, what you're thinking about this structure deck, if you think it could be the nuts or not. I'm really excited for it, because I think the monsters are so clean looking. Gemini monsters, like, say what you want, they may be terrible. They do have some dope designs. A lot of the Gemini monsters look clean as hell. So we'll see. I'll definitely keep you guys updated as we get any more news announced on this. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more news videos from me in the future, go and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.